In this video. Hello everyone and welcome to my 12th video on the channel. And actually this video and the one that's going to come out later this week are going to be the two final videos in the Algebra 1 series before we go on to Algebra 2 and beyond. I really hope you enjoyed the series so far. And one more thing before we go on to our answers to our previous questions. Please make sure to hit that like button and also hit that subscribe button for more awesome content just like this. Without further ado, let's get into our answers to our previous questions. Number 1, y is equal to negative x. Number 2, y is equal to 5x minus 37. Number 3, y is equal to 7x minus 50. Today's lesson is about graphing radical equations. Functions, sorry. So what we do here is this is the base graph of y is equal to the square root of x. It goes kind of like this. And this is the base graph of y is equal to negative square root of x, which is actually in red pen over here on this coordinate plane. The reason I differentiate between the two, because remember when we talked about solving the first video on the channel, where we had plus minus square root of x? Normally, if we see square root of x, we mean the positive, and if we see negative square root of x, of course, that means the negative. They're never going to ask us, or they might, but it's very rare, they're probably not going to ask us to graph plus minus square root of x. I think a couple examples would be good to clear things up. Our first example is to graph y is equal to 2 times square root of x. To do that, of course, we got to draw the coordinate plane. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And on the y-axis, let's go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Negative 1, negative 2. I'll tell you when I'm done with the coordinate plane. With the coordinate plane done, we can begin graphing. First, it's going to be 0, 0, because 2 times 0, if we take the square root of 0, it's equal to 0, and 2 times 0 is also equal to 0. We get 0, 0, of course. And if we take the square root of 1, 1 times 2 is 2. And then we got to take the square root of 4, because the other stuff, they're not perfect squares. And perfect square means, if I take this, always going to end up as not something wonky, just it's going to be square root of 4 is 2. It's not going to be square root of 2, which is about 1.141 all the way on. So this is our next perfect square. So if we have 2 is the square root of 4, but then if we multiply it by 2, we get 4. So we're going to have 4, 4, and then it's going to go on and on and on until infinity. So this is how 2 times the square root of x would look. For our second example, we're going to have to graph y is equal to the square root of x plus 1. After writing the problem down, what we have to do is we have to start with the coordinate plane, and I'll tell you when this is all over. So if we have the square root of x plus 1, if we have x is equal to 0, y would be equal to 1. X is equal to 1, y would be equal to 2. X is equal to 4, y would be equal to 3. Because square root of 1 is 1. Plus 1 is 2, square root of 4, is 2. 2 plus 1 is 3, and of course square root of 0 is 0, and 0 plus 1 is 1. If we wanted to graph it, it would look something like this, where we would have kind of more of a slanted line, less of what the 2 times the square root of x had, because it's not as steep, and we're not multiplying everything, we're just adding 1, we're just shifting the graph up. For our third and final example, I would actually like to show you how to graph negative square roots, even though it's really easy, all you just do a negative. I want to show you how it looks, because sometimes they might ask you to have negative 1.5 square root, or there could be multiple graphs. And I just wanted to get down the basics, because sometimes people get a little confused on this. So instead of doing a shape like this, they would do a shape like here, or a shape like here. I'll show you it on the coordinate plane. With the coordinate plane done, I'd like to start the graphing process. If we have x is equal to 0, we're going to start at the same place, 0, 0, or the origin. If we have y is equal to negative 1, we're going to have 1 okay? I mean, not y is equal to negative 1, sorry. X is equal to 1. We're going to have 1 and then negative 1. So it's going to be over here. If x is equal to 4, y is equal to negative 2, and so on. So the graph would look something like this. Oh, except I kind of missed the point, but like this point, like not the actual point, but I missed that point. But I think you understand. And some of the mistakes sometimes people do is instead of graphing it like that, sometimes people will graph it like this, or sometimes people will graph it like this. So it's good to know that this is actually the way to graph it. And actually, let me put this in red pen, because this is what we don't want to do. We don't want to graph this. We want to graph this, the line that's over here. And those are our examples. For today, we only have 2 practice problems, but these practice problems are graph y is equal to the square root of x plus 3, and graph y is equal to negative 2 times the square root of x. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next one. Bye-bye.